Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my vision for the future of BridgeMind, and I'm going to be sharing my perspective with you guys on a couple of different things as I've had a couple of days to really think deeply and reflect on this journey and think about what I want to do and what my vision for the future of BridgeMind actually is. So in this video, my goal is to just create a raw, uncut video where I share my perspective of this journey with you guys and just really share my heart with you, okay? So if you guys have been watching BridgeMind and following along with our journey, or if you are a part of the BridgeMind community, this is an opportunity. I just, ask that you watch the whole video because I think that I'm going to talk about some really important things and I'm going to share a lot in this video. So I just think that in order to be able to talk about that vision, I first need to take a step back and tell you guys a little bit about my position and what actually got me started on this in the first place, right? So, this is my third startup. After my last startup, I wanted to take 6 months off and really decide what I wanted to do next. And in August of 2025, I finally decided, okay, I'm going to now start building in public and I'm going to share my journey as an entrepreneur with other people because I want to be, number one, on the cutting edge of the AI revolution. And I want to show people that it is possible to make something greater of yourself than just working like a typical 9-to-5 job, right? Like if you show up, if you work hard, if you're the man in the arena, you can accomplish great things. And there's even a video, if you guys watch on my channel, I may crop it somewhere in this video or a clip of it somewhere. This is going to be raw and uncut. I may crop in maybe at the end or somewhere in this video, this video of me from over 2 years ago where I share the vision for this. But I would like to share that. I would like to share just the daily grind and share with people how difficult this life is and how much work really goes into it, but to show that it is possible. And I don't know what my life is going to look like in 3 months, but I know that right now I'm confident and I know it's going to be hard, but this is the life that I want to pursue. I want to be great, and it's about discipline. If I discipline myself to focus now while I'm 21 years old, while I'm young, then I can do great things. I don't want to be 30 years old working a 9-to-5 corporate job, just doing the same old thing. I want to be a leader. I want to lead people. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to learn new things. I want to be on the forefront of discovery. And I'm just a kid from Indiana. I wanted to share it because my vision is that, hey, if you are the man in the arena, if you show up, if you continue through the ups and the downs, if you move forward, you can be successful. Okay. And I started sharing this journey, and it started out with an app called Goalpost, which was just a very simple goal productivity app, right? And we finished it pretty quickly in 10 days. And what I found was it's easier than ever before to build with AI. You can very quickly build apps. You can build web apps with very little knowledge as well. You can build incredible things now. But it's still very difficult to do marketing, and it's very difficult to actually get your product out there. And I think that then led us to View Creator, where View Creator, as you guys know, is a way to automate virality. It's virality on autopilot. I use it. It's generating revenue for BridgeMind. And this is a product where you can create agentic workflows to be able to automate your social media content scheduling, creation, and posting, okay? And that's now generating, revenue. It's generating views 50,000 every 24 to 48 hours for BridgeMind. So it's an incredible tool, right? And during this journey, I've always emphasized the fact that it was not my intention to become a content creator, and it still isn't my desire or intention to become a content creator. What I really wanted to do was to be able to build in public and to prove what's possible and to be on the cutting edge of the AI revolution and to build a community and build the future with other people that are passionate about AI and building the future together and being on the cutting edge of this revolution together. And something that I have learned is that when you're at 1,000 subscribers and you have a community that's maybe 100, right, on Discord, it's a completely different situation than when you're at 35 and you have 18,000 followers on X and you have a community of 4,000. It's different because you, as the leader of that community, have a tremendous amount of responsibility. And I've learned through the experience of this past week what that responsibility actually is. And I've learned at the speed of light, what it really means to be the leader of this community. And I think that for those of you that have been watching this, in this journey, if you guys thought that I was going to do everything correctly and never make a mistake or make a misstep, you were wrong. I think one important thing to kind of weave in here is what was that misstep and what did happen. Well, I'll tell you right now, and it's the last time I'm going to talk about it, is I was under the impression that if I launched a coin and I burned my entire holdings of the coin while it was worth over $100,000, that would send the signal that I was about the mission over the money, and then to use any fees to be going towards things like events such as the Buy-a-thon that's coming up from February 1st to February 14th for $5,000. I was under the impression that would send that signal, and that was not how it was received by the community, and that's on me because I didn't communicate it well. So I take full accountability and responsibility for it, and we're going to move forward, and that's the last time I'm going to talk about it. The purpose of this mission was to be able to share not only the wins, but also the losses and the missteps and the things that I did, correct or right or incorrectly or wrong, right? And this has just been an incredible opportunity for me to prove that, hey, you have to be the type of person that you continue forward and make progress when things are going well, and you continue forward and make progress when things are going wrong. Like that is literally like one of the biggest parts of this mission and of this vision, is that I'm going to be vibe coding and building in public until I make $1 million. And I think that what I've kind of found is that there is just tremendous amounts of responsibility that I have that I didn't even understand until recently of what that actually means, right? So with that being said, it's like, hey, let's talk about the products that we're now going to be building in the future and what you guys should be expecting out of BridgeMind in the future. And let's just get into it, okay? Let me share my screen, and we'll talk a little bit about the product suite that we're working on right now, okay? So first of all, let me zoom out here, and let's go into BridgeMind, and let's just go to the BridgeMind website, okay? Build the future with vibe coding, okay? BridgeMind is a organization that is built in public, and it is an agentic organization. It's going to be an organization that implements every single AI tool into its workflows, both with vibe coding and software development, product creation, to actually doing the marketing, for example, with View Creator, building agentic video editing systems, short creation, and content scheduling and posting with AI. And I think that what people lose sight of is, hey, one of the reasons that we're doing this, and one of the reasons it's like, hey, I'm in no rush to make a significant amount of money, because, hey, I think that when you're showing up every day and when you're in the arena and when you're building in this industry with AI, you're on the cutting edge of this revolution. And if you ask a normal person, hey, what is AI? They're going to say ChatGPT. But then if you ask, somebody from the BridgeMind community, what is AI? It's going to look completely different, right? And it's because we're adopting the newest workflows, we're adopting the newest tools, and AI is going to get significantly better. And you want to be on the inside of this industry. You want to be on the inside of this revolution and on the cutting edge of it, because there are things coming that people can't even fathom or imagine. And the people that are going to make the most of it are the people that know about it immediately, that have been practicing the workflows for years. Those are the people that are going to be incredibly successful. And that's what we're doing. It doesn't matter if View Creator generates $2,000 a month in revenue or $20,000 a month in revenue, because what we're in it for is we're in it for the longevity of being in this industry and being there for these different iterations of the next models, the next set of tools. We want to be there and immediately integrate it into our businesses, into our jobs, into our workflows, and what we're doing on a daily basis, because that is what the future is it's going to be AI in this technology, and we're on the cutting edge of it. So, with BridgeMind, we're working on a few different tools, and I think that what a lot of people need to understand is they want to understand exactly what it is that we're working on. So the first thing I want to touch on, like the first thing that we're going to launch in February, is we're going to be launching the Bridge MCP, okay? So this is a model context protocol server enabling AI agents to interface with your development tools and workflows, okay? So if we go over here, this is what the Bridge MCP actually looks like, okay? So we're able to integrate using like Claude, right? So I can launch Claude, and I'm gonna be able to tell Claude, hey, I want you to be able to use the Bridge MCP to, review the tasks that are in review or create new tasks that are to do, and I want you to, go through the process of completing them. So here, for example, is a task. It has instructions and it has knowledge for you to be able to work on that particular task, and then you're gonna be able to run that task and complete it. But I think that this is the first thing that we're going to be launching in this suite of vibe coding tools. So there's the Bridge MCP, and that's what we're going to be really focused on like this upcoming week is the Bridge MCP. And what you guys were just seeing is that this is BridgeSpace. So this is, you're able to create additional workspaces, and you can do a very similar thing that we do in our development workflows, where, for example, like we can launch several panes, and then, for example, I can launch Bridge Code, and Bridge Code is an additional CLI tool. It's a fork of OpenCode, and we're building additional features on top of OpenCode. But very quickly, you can launch a bunch of AI agents and manage them inside of BridgeSpace at the same time. Okay, so this is another product that we're going to try and launch in February of 2026, and we're also going to be launching a voice to text tool called BridgeVoice. Okay, and this is all going to be packaged and sold for a $20 a month subscription, and we're building this because why pay for Whisper Flow, Warp, in a different CLI tool, as well as some other MCP server, when you can use it all in the BridgeMind Suite. So we're going to be building this suite of vibe coding tools, and then we're going to be moving on to building additional apps and building additional products, and we're going to continue showing up, and we're going to stay in the arena until we generate significant revenue and until we make $1 million. And like I said, it's this is when people say that, like, oh, I'm going to make $1 million, what does that mean, right? Like, what does that look like? Does it mean app revenue? Does it mean revenue in general? And that's a question that I get a lot. And I'm going to be vibe coding an app until I make $1 million through these different avenues, right? It's not just through one product. There's going to be a suite, because, hey, it is easier than ever before to build. And I think that with every project that you have, even if it generates $0 of revenue, if it generates 1,000, or if it generates 1 million, you're constantly learning for the next project, and you're constantly learning for the next product that you're going to build. And whatever we do, however successful or unsuccessful it is, what the biggest thing and the most important thing is that we stay in the arena, and that we show up every single day, and that we stay in this industry, that we learn all these new tools, that we use the latest AI models, and that we continue forward until we are successful. And I think that as it relates to the BridgeMind community, there's things that are coming that we're going to be doing, like the Vibe-a-thon, like the project sharing events, and other events that we're going to be doing as a community to continue forward. And I take full accountability for this past week's events. And what I will say in that is that I am now realizing the responsibility that I have as a leader, and I'm realizing how big the responsibility actually is. And I take accountability for not leading the community in a good direction, right? Because, hey, the community that I had just 3 months ago is completely different than the community that we have now, right? And I need to take responsibility for that, and I need to lead this community well. And I can tell you one thing with absolute certainty is that I'm going to be leading this community very well in the future. And we're going to continue showing up, we're going to continue making progress, and we're going to keep moving forward, and we're going to be the man in the arena, where through ups, through downs, we're going to continue forward. And that's what this journey is all about, is sharing that, sharing the ups, sharing the downs, sharing the successes, sharing the failures, and continuing forward no matter what, and staying in the arena, because that's what it takes to be successful. And for us to be able to be on the cutting edge of this revolution is incredible. This is the future. AI is the future. Vibe coding is the future of software development. And you guys can expect me to get back to essentially daily live streaming. I think that I just needed a little bit of time to be able to reflect and really figure out, okay, where did I take a misstep here, and how do we continue forward? And I think that for me to be able to just acknowledge this and take accountability for it and say, hey, the responsibility that I have, I can now see it. And I am a big believer in, hey, no matter what you experience in life, there's a reason that you're experiencing it. And, I think that to be able to learn from every experience and to move forward with those learnings is incredibly important. So, I hope that, maybe in some way this can help you guys, because, this, I think in some way does show, it's like, hey, how what's going to happen when things don't go your way, right? I think that's a big question to be able to ask yourself, and for us to now be able to answer, is that, yeah, like when things don't go our way, we're going to keep going forward. And let's just keep pushing forward, guys. Onward and upward. Let's do our project sharing events. Let's get back to the daily streams, and let's move forward. Let's do the Vibeathon. You guys know about the Vibeathon at BridgeMind.ai, and let's keep shipping projects. Let's keep shipping products. Let's stay on the cutting edge of this revolution. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep showing up, and no matter what, let's stay in the arena. And let's move forward together as a community. So with that being said, guys, I hope that this video helps explain my vision for the future of BridgeMind and what to expect moving forward. And I will see you guys in the future.